Hey everybody, DreamRoom64 here, and today I have a little bit of an unusual topic here, and that's this portable CRT gaming setup. So I call it portable because I actually did take this out of the house on the road to a bachelor party. So basically, a good friend from college, he invited me to a bachelor party. I looked at the Airbnb that we had for the place, and it didn't have a good setup for gaming. And I'm thinking, okay, here I am, gonna be hanging out with a bunch of guys my age who grew up with a lot of similar games. Let's play some, right? You know, it'd be fun, right? And I'm thinking, okay, the TV at this place, it's like an LCD, it's like 6 feet in the air. It's tilted actually backwards instead of being, you know, sometimes people tilt their TV forward when they have it mounted too high. This was backwards, it didn't even make any sense. I'm a little bit spoiled. I'm a little bit over the top. I wanted to bring a CRT, so that's what I did. So let me walk you through my thoughts on what went through my head. What was I thinking? What kind of games did I bring? Which console did I pick? And why this particular TV? So let's start off with this particular TV right here. So this is a Toshiba, though it's really an Orion model, but it's pretty good. Now here's the thing though. It is a little bit of a beater. Look at the top here. You can see pretty dirty. I can't get this out of the matte paint. It has this dirt. Even has the price I paid for it, $25, written in Sharpie. I found this thing at a really junky shop a few months back, and caught my eye because it is a nice 40i model with component video input. That's pretty cool. And it's curved. And one of the reasons the curved appealed to me is because generally you get a little bit better geometry on a curved, and they're lighter. So this guy, although it's 80 pounds, I don't have any problem picking it up and transporting it around. So I wouldn't, you know, if you're gonna do what I did and take a TV to an event, I wouldn't do it with flat screen 27 inch. I wouldn't do it with anything bigger than 27 inch. But this guy here, I'm able to just kind of hug it and pull it tight to my body with the screen pressing against me. No belt buckle on because I don't want to scratch the screen. But yeah, this guy, it's manageable. So I brought this thing because yeah, it's a beater. So I don't want to bring like my most precious, hard to replace CRT that's in good condition to an event or a party with a bunch of people and people I don't know. Because the thing is, most people don't have the collector mindset that I have and that most people watching this channel have. They aren't thinking. They're not being rude, but they'll take a drink, you know, they'll set it down here. So I went with the expectation that kind of thing would happen. People they're going to lean on it. It's just, you don't want to pack your most pristine, precious stuff if you can afford not to. That aside, let me talk about the console that I picked. So you can see here clearly I have the Wii playing on here. The Wii is the console that I picked. Now initially, I wanted to bring Nintendo 64 or GameCube, but I decided, all right, you know what? Heck, let's just bring the Wii. Just one console. I don't want to bring two things. That's too many controllers. It's too much stuff. Let's bring a Wii, but not a complete in-box Wii, because again, I don't want my stuff to get beat up. I want to minimize any kind of wear and tear on my favorite belongings. So I brought this, well, not this, but I brought digitally this stuff. So I loaded these games onto an SD card, or in the case of Nintendo 64 games like this, I just loaded the Wii Virtual Console games onto the home screen here. That is really easy to do, and these were officially released by Nintendo, so that the quality of the emulation feels flawless on it. To be able to bring some Nintendo 64 games and share controllers with GameCube games made the Wii make a lot of sense. So of course I brought a Wii with GameCube controller ports on it. But again, didn't want to bring the physical games with me, just load them onto an SD card for the most part and go from there. All right, so let me show you what I packed in some milk crates. So I packed basically everything I needed aside from the TV and the stand and a speaker. I'll talk about the speaker a little bit more into milk crates. So I brought Wavebirds. Now, one thing is Wavebirds aren't as reliable as they used to be. I have some issues, like a couple of them they don't turn on any longer. I have this one, I think it was this one, the channel selection switch here must have been, something was off because I couldn't get it to connect to the receiver. So what I had to do is I took one of these apart. I sprayed this product called Deoxit in there. It's like a miracle product. I use it to solve all kinds of little connection issues with electronics, clean contacts when isopropyl alcohol isn't enough. So I sprayed a little bit of that in there after taking it apart. I swished this switch around a bit, and then it worked. So yeah, it's discolored a bit, but you know, it's otherwise in good condition, and it works again. So I did test all my stuff out before I lugged this whole setup, because I wanted to make sure if I'm going through all this trouble, I want it to work right. I want to have the fun that I intended to have with friends. Okay, so down a level. Brought the Wii controllers with Motion Plus. I wanted to be able to include people who maybe didn't necessarily play the core games like Mario Party and Mario Kart. Just anybody can pick up and enjoy the Wii sports games. Now, additionally, I brought the remote for my TV because this is actually pretty important, because it's one of the Orion model Toshibas. It's not a real Toshiba, but it is a good one. Despite being an Orion Toshiba, it has a Panasonic tube in there. Really good quality Panasonic tube. So watch this. If, say, somebody accidentally hit the channel button on this TV at any point, well, now it's stuck on the tuner and I can't get back into the video inputs without the remote. So I had to bring the remote just in case something like that went down. And the funny thing is that the component video on the Toshibas is called Color Stream. They just had this funny branding. So yeah, I had to bring the remote. Let's see what else I got here. So I did bring a couple games physically on disc just because I didn't have time to get them loaded digitally. And these aren't, valuable, rare games or anything. I didn't feel too bad about bringing those. And I brought a bunch of AA batteries from IKEA. And I gotta say, I really appreciate controllers like Xbox 360, Xbox One wireless controllers, Wavebirds, Wii remotes that run on AA's, because it's so much easier to manage than a bunch of controllers that have internal batteries that go bad with time, like the 6-axis and the DualShock 3 and DualShock 4 and so on. I really, really appreciate that. So that's another perk. I was able to just bring one big set of batteries, share them between controllers, have a bunch of extras, not worry about charging up a bunch of USB-C powered, USB-C charged modern controllers. Kind of really appreciate that. All right, now I'm down one level lower. I brought wired GameCube controllers just as a backup because, like I said, the Wavebirds, I don't know, for some reason mine aren't as reliable as they once were. I also brought nunchucks, and I brought the microphone for Mario Party, I think 6 and 7. Didn't end up using it, but I figured, why not bring it? It's small, lightweight, had room for it. All right, into this bin here, I brought a power extension cord to be flexible in case I needed to move the setup. Little power strip. Component cables for the Wii, the sensor bar. That is an unfortunate thing. If you bring a Wii, you got to bring a sensor bar, and there are battery-powered sensor bars. But I figured, I have enough battery-powered stuff that I'm bringing. I'll just bring the physical wired sensor bar. Power cord, of course, for the Wii. Now this part's a little bit interesting. You see this power brick here has paint splattered all over it. That's because this speaker here, this is the one I actually used for the party. This is a Bose Sound Dock Portable, and these are fairly common. They're always like 10, maybe 20 bucks at most when you find them. And it has a 30-pin dock connector for an iPod there, but that's not what I'm using it for here. I'm using it for the audio input here. So the first series of Bose docks doesn't have an auxiliary input. So you need one of the black models or the portable silver titanium-ish colored models here. And that aux jack, you can then just take a cable like this, plug one end in there, aux cable, and the other end with the RCA jacks. You can plug these into a speaker output terminal on your TV if it has those, or just use a coupler here and then plug your console's analog audio output directly into this, and then use the, where is it? There we go. The volume up down buttons on the dock to control the audio. So this just really makes the audio sound a good bit better than using the built-in speakers on a TV. So although CRTs typically have better speakers than new flat panel TVs have, they're still, I still want better than that because I'm picky, I'm spoiled. Bose products, generally, they're really expensive, but when you can get them used for like 10 or 20 bucks, and considering the size, their footprint they take up, they really do sound great for the size and the price. They're pretty awesome in that regard. So this was the one I actually brought, but on the contrary, I could have brought one of these guys here. This is an old first gen Wave radio, and this one's kind of cool because it has ports right on the back there for auxiliary input. And this one sounds good, has true stereo sound. One thing I want to point out though, is you don't want to take a speaker like this and then just directly set it on top of the TV, because what's going to happen is you're going to get distorted. You see that's kind of dark? That's not a shadow. It causes problems when you mix magnets and CRTs. Something with the electron beam just gets moved in the wrong direction, things get wonky. So don't do that. Unfortunately, it's got to go down low, or it could go up higher, or it could go off to the side here, but you do have to watch out for that. And I did have to bring a stand because this place I was going didn't really have a great spot to sit it down. So I brought my own stand. It's got to be something sturdy, of course, for an 80-pound CRT, but that is solid wood. And then we just put 4 dinner table chairs around and played some Mario Party. It was actually a lot of fun. I think it was worth it. Plus, it's a good conversation starter. But let me know your opinion. Is it worth lugging an 80-pound CRT plus a stand, plus the speakers and all the controllers to a party? Now, for me, I think it was because, how often do you get to hang out with people, old friends, and play the games you grew up with? I think it was worth it. Let me know your thoughts. What would you bring? Is it ridiculous? Would you maybe rather bring an Xbox 360 and a plasma TV? I think that'd be pretty cool too. Yeah, let me know what you think. And I'll be back with another video pretty soon. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.